Now I'm a meathead, born and raised meathead. Like I
I come
love
from a
sports.
line of meatheads.
I love sports growing up. I lifted weights
Oh,
as a
that's
kid.
great.
I lifted weights as like in like high school. I had that one moment in high school where I was like, where I felt jacked. I mean,
Yeah, you were
no.
like popular in high school.
Oh yeah, yeah, very popular. Been
Yeah.
popular in college,
I was not.
and so. But I would lift weight. I've always lifted weights. I've always been comfortable in the gym.
And you were like funny in high school and college.
I was probably funnier. I was pretty serious in high school about sports. So like I wasn't that funny in high school, although I did have it in me. It wasn't like I didn't need it the way I needed it in college. Like in college, I definitely leaned into
That's
being
what happened to
funny.
me. In
Yeah.
college, I was like, someone was like, "Oh, you're funny." I was like, "Oh, I'm funny? Well, then this is my entire existence."
That's someone said you are the funny. I heard you are the funniest person I've ever met. So much in college that if other people said you've got to meet this guy, he's funny about someone else, I get jealous.
Yeah.
I go, hold on,
I bet
actually
he's not.
you forget what you said about me the other
Yeah,
day.
but does that? How's that guy doing now? Huh?
Yeah,
Is there a Jeff cast?
no, and so, and then I was like, well, so many people said it to me, I should try stand up, but
Yeah, that's how it was for me.
there is a part of my personality. Like right now, we just got done sober October. I've done 500 calorie workouts every day, and I've done 100 push-ups every day.
That's intense.
But there's a part of my brain that regresses to meathead, where I find myself, like feeling my arm, and
Yeah.
I was wondering if when you first got jacked for the first time, if all of a sudden it was like almost like an out of body experience of experiencing a side of your life you never had, and you had witnessed from afar other dudes being like the fucking bully, and then all of a sudden you've got all the bully's attributes, but you're not that bully, and you're like,
Right.
are you finding yourself? I used to say this a lot about you. Were you finding yourself in the parking lot like, that's my spot, bitch? Like,
Well-
was that coming out of you at all?
Not at all.
Really?
It's interesting that you bring that up. The way I think about me never changed. I feel like truly exactly the same person. The only thing that's really changed is I'm a little less I have a little less anxiety, and I have an outlet. Like working out is such an outlet for me. It like makes me feel so much better. But so I have not changed in any way. However, dudes will step to me more. So like I was at a place with Emily. This was like a couple years ago, and I sort of like bumped into a guy by mistake, and he like kind of turned, looked at me, and he like kind of bowed up. And that doesn't happen to me. That's never happened to me. And I was like, what a weird look. What's going on? Are you constipated? And Emily was like, walk away. He wants to fight you. And that's happened to me like 4 or 5 times where guys, I think they're like maybe threatened or they see, I don't know what it is. I can't speak to it. But I've had guys try to pick fights with me way more in the last 3 years than at any other point in my life.
Well, you went from, I hope this doesn't sound disrespectful, but you went from what was this castable beta guy
Yes.
to this legit alpha dude. I mean, I have to say, you honestly got. I remember the first time I saw that picture, and I was like, dude, he's strikingly handsome. Like,
Oh, thank you.
like I guarantee you, there's going to be a whole generation of brown babies that are born where Indian dudes are getting laid because, or Pakistani guys are getting laid because of you.
Well, Indian and Pakistani are very close. It really
you
is.
called me out on it one time on stage.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, I remember it was like,
I'm sorry.
I said something about the Indian guy, and you go, it's Pakistani, motherfucker. And I'm definitely trying not to make the mistake again.
I was just trying to get a laugh, and I
Yeah.
bet I did.
Yeah, you did. You were telling the story about pissing in your pants.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's interesting because you're always aware of in this industry how much what the opportunities you get, how much they're based on how you look, Like I've certainly worked with some dudes that are like really handsome, and you work with them and you're like, "Oh, you have this job because you're handsome and not because you're good."
Yeah.
And I remember having this with someone where I was like being grateful that I didn't look like that, because I was like, I can do so many more different kinds of things. However, since those pictures came out, my opportunities are different. It
Yeah.
really is an industry that's based on, Because I think brown guys are really like desexualized. We're nerds, like in American pop culture. It's not like that in India because look at Bollywood. Those guys are super jacked.
Bert and Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call two bears, one cave.